Sawadee-ka. Thank you for joining us for the evening edition of NBT World Brief on NBT and NBT World. You're with me, Sandra Han Utsaha. In our first story for you, Labour Minister JULAPUN has announced comprehensive relief measures for the families of the 3 crew of the MAYUREE NAREE who lost their lives in the Middle East, prioritizing the delivery of state benefits and welfare. The Ministry of Labour is leading a coordinated effort to support the families of the affected crew members, ensuring they receive all legal entitlements without delay. Local Social Security Office units have been instructed to expedite the processing of accumulated retirement contributions under Section 33 to provide immediate financial support to the heirs. The ministry is also working closely with the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and Precious Shipping Public Company Limited to facilitate the repatriation of the bodies of the 3 crew members next week. The government aims to complete this process in time for the Songkran Festival. The Department of Labor Protection and Welfare has scheduled meetings with the company to finalize all assistance arrangements and ensure a seamless transition for the affected families. Regarding employer-provided compensation, the ship owner is required to adhere strictly to the 2015 Maritime Labor Act. The company will provide funeral assistance of 50,000 baht paid directly to the organizers of the religious services. Additionally, the heirs are entitled to monthly compensation for a period of 10 years, with payments capped at 14,000 baht per month. The total maximum compensation from the employer is set at 1.68 million baht across the full duration of the support period. Thailand has put in place a plan to secure fertilizer for the upcoming planting season as the conflict in the Middle East disrupts the global supply chain. Minister of Agriculture and Cooperatives Surya Jingrungrungkit has met with 6 major domestic fertilizer distributors to discuss the matter. Despite international shipping delays, the government confirmed that national fertilizer reserves remain adequate and that retail prices will not be increased. Current reports indicate that 3 fertilizer shipments totaling approximately 250,000 metric tons are currently delayed in the Strait of Hormuz. However, Thailand maintains a reserve stock of 900,000 tons, which is considered sufficient to meet immediate domestic demand. To further secure the national supply chain, Minister Surya is preparing to travel to Russia to negotiate additional imports as a contingency measure until global tensions stabilize. Representatives from the fertilizer companies have pledged to maintain stable prices and cooperate closely with the Ministry of Agriculture and Cooperatives. Under a unified Team Thailand approach, the public and private sectors will focus on identifying alternative fertilizer formulas and negotiating with global suppliers to increase raw material imports. Officials added that streamlining import processes will help resolve logistics issues and ensure continued support for the agricultural sector. The government is advancing a comprehensive policy to leverage innovation and education reform as primary drivers for national development.
Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of Higher Education, Science and Innovation, Yochanan Wongsawat, has announced a strategic shift to leverage innovation as the primary driver for national development. During a parliamentary session, the minister outlined plans to transform universities into inclusive institutions serving learners of all ages. The higher education reform focuses on lifelong learning, enabling citizens from early childhood to the elderly, including alumni, to access upskilling and reskilling opportunities that align with a rapidly changing economy. At the basic education level, Education Minister Praset Jantararwongthong and Deputy Minister Akaranan Kankitinan have signaled a readiness to implement a wide-ranging reform rollout. The ministry is scheduled to formally announce its full policy agenda on April the 20th. Minister Prasad noted that the ministry has integrated feedback from lawmakers to ensure that upcoming measures effectively address the practical needs of the school system and improve testing standards across the board. A major priority for both ministries is the reduction of educational inequality through significant changes to the Thai university central admission system. The government also aims to reduce the administrative workload of teachers to allow more focus on classroom instruction. Furthermore, new measures will be introduced to ease the financial burden on parents facing rising living costs. While expanding online learning is under consideration to reduce student transportation expenses, the Education Minister emphasized that such moves must be carefully balanced to prevent learning loss and maintain high educational quality.
The Ministry of Labour has delivered a policy statement to Parliament outlining plans to improve the quality of life for the national workforce.
The ministry is focusing its efforts on supporting over 40 million formal and informal workers currently registered under the Social Security system. Labour Minister JULAPUN has assigned urgent tasks to relevant agencies to address the ongoing energy price crisis, which continues to significantly impact the cost of living for families. While acknowledging that returning energy prices to previous level in the short term remains difficult, the government is exploring alternative relief measures. These efforts are designed to provide a financial cushion for workers and their families who are facing increased pressure from rising expenses and global economic uncertainty. A key measure under consideration is the temporary reduction of Social Security contribution rates to improve the short-term liquidity of workers. Minister JULAPUN has instructed the Social Security Office to study feasibility of this move, ensuring that any reduction does not compromise the long-term stability of the Social Security Fund. This balance is essential for safeguarding the future benefits and welfare of the national labor force while providing immediate financial relief. The proposed reduction is currently undergoing a detailed study to determine the appropriate time frame and the specific percentage of the rate cut. Even a small monthly reduction in expenses is expected to significantly increase the purchasing power of citizens and ease the financial burden of low-income earners. The Ministry of Labour remains committed to implementing practical solutions that offer immediate support to the public while maintaining the integrity of the primary social safety net of the country.
And in our final story, the Consulate General of Uzbekistan in Bangkok, in coordination with the Fine Arts Department, has held a book donation ceremony at the National Library of Thailand. The event was organized to support cultural exchange and strengthen bilateral relations between the two nations. This ceremony also coincided with the 120th anniversary of the National Library, recognizing its long-standing role in preserving Thai history and serving as a vital public learning resource. Uzbekistan donated a 74-volume encyclopedia covering its ancient civilizations spanning several millennia to the library. This comprehensive collection presents the historical and cultural legacy of the country and is expected to significantly expand the international resources available to the Thai public. Consul General Fakhruddin Sultanov and Fine Arts Department Deputy Director General Kanita Totikawanit described the event as an important step in deepening diplomatic ties. Both officials reaffirmed their commitment to continued cooperation in cultural exchange and the preservation of intellectual heritage. The event underscored the growing cooperation between the two countries, with education and culture serving as the primary pillars of their modern engagement.
I think by giving books to Thai National Library, as before one of our guests mentioned, yeah, we give them key of our hearts. Yeah, and I deeply hope that this will serve between two countries, two nations, to understand each other more closely and come to a relationship by mutual respect.
I'm very proud and glad to inform you that we have a direct flight to Uzbekistan by Centrum Air. We fly 3 times per week from Bangkok and 3 times per week from Phuket. We are really welcome all the Thai tourists, especially the people who want to see the place for a Buddhist temple and also for the Muslim culture. As you know, Uzbekistan is a Muslim country, but they have a mix of culture because the history of Uzbekistan is very, very old and actually was nominated as a Silk Way. That means connecting Europe with Asia. And also this is the road that Marco Polo used to do it in the past.
And that wraps up the evening edition of NBT World Brief. Stay updated with the latest developments on NBT and NBT World. For more stories, simply scan the QR code on your screen to access our full coverage across all media platforms. Until next time, I'm Sandra Han Utsaha. สวัสดีค่ะ